Hey guys, here's part 2 to my long story shortened. This one is the story about me being sent off to the corner for saying aw. When I was in first grade and I was kind of a brat, but not kind of. So in first grade, it was a really weird time. My teacher got cancer and my dad actually passed away from cancer, long story short, and seeing as this teacher of mine was like going through cancer, that made me feel really bad for her and stuff. And then we ended up getting a substitute teacher, but we also had a teacher assistant and we had some other dude also in. The teacher assistant was always there, but then her dad also passed away from cancer that year. You know, it was just like this whole thing. It was kind of crazy. Everybody was like dying and it was kind of scary. But this story basically was like the teacher, pretty much the guy one, was like, alright guys, are you guys ready to have some fun and like play games? And I just remember being this brat because everybody's cheering about it being happy and I said aw, and I remember I was like joking about it as a kid, but somehow, some way it became a big deal and he just stopped and he's like, who said aw? And I like was gonna get clammed up and quiet because like as a kid and even still to this day, if somebody's mean or mad at me, I clam up and I get like anxious. I've always had like anxiety ever since I was young, and I just remember feeling it in that moment, but I didn't even like get a second to clam up because somehow, some way, everybody in the entire classroom of like 20 plus kids all shot their fingers to point directly at me. And it was very awkward. Even my, at the time, best friend quite literally pointed her finger at me. So it was like everybody gave it away. But I remember at the time when my best friend also pointed her finger at me, I felt betrayed. So I sat there for a second, like, spaced out. And like, they were like, why did you say aw? And like, I could have said like, I was joking. But it was like one of those things where I already felt like put on the spot and like really anxious, so I just kind of clammed up and I just was like, I just don't want to play games in school. School's for learning. I want to do it outside of school. So what they did was they put a chair in the corner and they made me sit in it. And all the other kids basically was like, wow, this is so fun. And all the teachers kept saying, wow, it's so fun. Too bad somebody had to say aw, not play. So I just sat there sadly still, waiting until everything was over. And then finally, when it was all done, over with, well, I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember sitting there humiliated, feeling. I actually think that the guy teacher was there, but I think that my teacher who got cancer wasn't out yet. I don't quite know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know how you feel about it in the comments. Have a great night or day.